Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Bitcoin report for Wednesday, December 15. And we'll look at a couple of big counts on the daily chart, and then we'll have a drill in a little bit. But this is one count here that's still valid. So we're looking at an A and a B and a C for wave 4 here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for wave 1, with an A and a B and a C wave here for wave 2. And then pushing up for 1 and back for 2 here, and then pushing higher. So we can take a look at that on the intraday 4-hour chart, should do the trick. So we don't need to see that, but wave 1 here, an A and a B and a C for wave 2, and then 1 and 2, and then pushing higher at that point. So that's the bullish count at this point in time. So the let me just check. And this is just a 2-day chart. This particular count here would be looking at, well, wave 3 here with an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here for this. So we'd still need to come down and make a new low into the 40 here. This is all, I mean, normally we would consider this an expanded flat because wave B has taken the top out here. And then in that case we would expect the bottom to be taken out here, but there is what they call the running flat, which is pretty rare, I have to say. Don't really see it that often, where wave C doesn't take the low out here. So that's possible as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 down into the 40 there. And the reason that I like this for, if I can just back it up a little bit, is one of the miners here, Riot, if I can just get that in there. So this is a daily chart, and this here, if we look at this as an A and a B and a C wave here for the A wave, and then an A, well, you can do that a few different ways, but basically an ABC here for the B wave, which is on the November high here. So that B wave is on the November the 15th, well, anyway, in that November point there, and this one here is also in the same date as well, in the November. So this one's got a better shape, so to speak, as a wave, B wave, and C wave. And if you look sort of closely here, we could call this wave 1 here and then 2 here, and then all of this here be the third wave down here. There'll be a little 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 for the third wave, back for the fourth wave, and down for the fifth wave. So, you know, that could finish at 23 or something in here, or 22, 23. Anyway, the point being, we can look at this later, and we can look at other ones as well, but it is a really nice, you know, this started the same as Bitcoin here. We'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for wave 1 and 2, like we have on Bitcoin, and then all the way up for nice strong wave 3 here, wave 4 here. We could also look at this here. I don't particularly going into miners at this particular point in time, but is that the right thing? No, that's a bit weird. Oh, it's on log scale, no wonder. But sorry about that, it's on log scale, but still it's the same thing, you know. So we need to finish off this here a little bit, coming down into, we don't need the 50 there, that was it. So trading levels are 1, 2, 3, 5, and 8. We don't need the 8 for a moment. That's already been done and dusted, so we could just borrow that. So somewhere down in the 20 for Riot would look quite good, I think. But anyway, just, you know, I'm just shooting the breeze, just comparing patterns, you know what I mean? I don't want to get into it too much, but yeah, so that would just still leave like one more move down here for this. So we've got the ABC here for wave 2 and then going up. So just going back to that for a moment. So we've got this possibility here, and this becomes this becomes a little bit more real if the 50 becomes the support. It's that simple. You don't need to count anything. You just need to see it sitting on top there. So, you know, something like this here. So the market comes up and squiggles here for a while and then sits there and takes the high out. So we don't have a first high above, we have that high, but I would just call that the arrival, the reaction. We need the first high above the level, and we need it to sit there. It'll become visually, you know, you don't need to count Elliott, you just see it sitting there, you know. So that's what we need over there. But So we got that, and in a nutshell, we've got this. There are other counts. We can just go to the weekly here for a moment. Bit of a long shot. We could call the top in here at wave 5 too, with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we've got a top in play here. Then we could call that wave 3. We could also call it wave 1. If it was wave 3, then the 38.2% retracement level is about here for this, coming back from way down yonder, so back into the 40 again. And then the other point here is we could call the whole thing up as wave 1 here and come back for wave 2 back into 30. So they're the things that we've got, and as I've always mentioned, we're just really allowing it a little bit of time and space and being a little bit patient to see if it sits on top of the 50. If it does, then we've got ourselves a bullish count, but otherwise we'll be into the bearish count, and the likelihood of this one being correct would line up with the miners and the other markets, So I think it's good to have a look at all the possible counts. I mean, and then just eliminate them one by one. It's just a matter of detective work at that particular point in time. I find it, I'm a trader and I'm an analyst, and the analyst an analyst is not much good to a trader. I mean, a trader just looks for setup. So, I mean, as a trader myself, if I see the market sitting on top of the 50 there and I see a setup, well, then obviously would go long at that point, So putting the trading hat on and the analyst hat on are two different things, and it's very difficult to be good at both of them, by the way. You'll find that you'll sort of lean one way more than the other. But yeah, anyway, that's all of that. So this is just our 4-hour chart here. So if we see this top here being breached, that will confirm this is an ABC pattern at that point. It didn't count very well up here as 5 waves. So that was always been a bit of an issue. So I wouldn't get too excited about this at the moment. If we have a look at Ethereum for a moment, just on the, what's this, 4-hour chart. So that's all good. Let's just get that in there properly. And this is the top of the market, of course, over here. So we can look at, this is quite clean and nice and tidy here as wave 1 here, and an ABC back for wave 2, then down for 1 and back for 2, and then we're in this sequence here. So in this sequence we've got it's just not finished at this point. So we've been looking at this as wave 3 here, so a little wave 4 sitting here. It's really sitting on that trend line coming through and finding it as resistance, as it would. It's touched it here and here, double retest. The patterns within this structure here are appearing, they're overlapping wave structures, so it's highly likely that it is corrective, and we'll be seeing more downside at that point. So in this case here, it's possible that in this move here that we could come down to wave 3 here, like Bitcoin, and finish off and then move up from that point. There's a count that takes that on, but we won't really, I'll keep talking about it and we'll investigate it further, but at this stage we still need this to finish off here at least as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here in 5 waves down into somewhere into the 3,500 sort of area at that point. And then we need to observe this here. So once again, we can see that the 4,000, this medium level through here, is the line in the sand. So if this market finds that as support, well, then we'll have a look at the bullish trade, the bullish side of the market. But the only way I can see that happening in the short term is from this wave 3 low here. That would give it, need to finish off at that point. But yeah, so otherwise this is still in bearish mode at this point. There's not a lot I can kind of add to all of this. It's just a matter of, I can see that this is corrective here. It may push up a little bit higher. They always like to retest the supply levels. But otherwise, we're not this is not bullish at the moment, put it that way. It's pretty simple and straightforward at this particular time. So I don't need to go into it anymore at this stage. So I'm going to leave it at that. So it will be interesting to see the miners, as I mentioned here before, finish off. So we will also want to see these guys. I'll have a closer look at this, but I think it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 the third wave. So we'll see a fourth wave pull back to the 30 here, roughly the wave 4, 1 lesser degree, one more move down, and then we should be on our way at that point. I didn't mean for that arrow to go there, but that would be like that. The only weak spot, see, the thing is here is that we have this move down through here, and then we have the correction here, then we have 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. So this little move here is quite clear that it's in 5 waves, and we've got this here. So as an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave, this is a corrective pattern, so it makes all of this corrective as well. Because I was thinking that if we have 5 waves down to, say, $20 here, it could just come back 50 or 60%, and we look at all that as wave 1 and back for wave 2 and then down for 3, 4, and 5. It's possible, but we don't need to go there yet. And I think that based on this first leg here being in 3 waves, it forces it to be corrective, you know? That's the thing about it. So this is going to be pretty exciting coming into this here, and then observing this move up through here. And this is what we'll be watching with Bitcoin, and we'll have a look at the other miners as well, and so on and so on. But yeah, we could be in the later stages of this finishing here, so not all doom and gloom. Alrighty, I'm just going to leave it at that because there's not a lot I can say. I don't want to go into the tick chart because it's not really going to help us at this point. Alrighty, cheers.